trade idea I'm about to enter. So I'm about to enter in this long position right here. The reason for this idea, I'm about to enter in 2 lots with a 25 pip stop loss. So we can do the math real quick. 25 pips x 40 equal to 1,000. So I could do even a little bit more at 37. I'm going to take this trade idea because we are going to look to target some highs. Okay, we're going to look to target out these highs, tapping into this 154 pip TP. So
order filled.
Boom. And again, our TP is going to be on the higher time frame. So we're going to look to TP over here at 5,000 right there. The reason for this trade idea, again, we're slightly below this current 30-minute candle. We have 2 minutes left. It looks like we are very bullish. I'm expecting prices to take out these highs, and just push into this key level, which is to the 24,600. So again, we entered in a 2 lot here, just looking for price to continue higher. And yeah, that's the whole idea. Again, I'm gonna look to TP around 140 pips. We are very early. It's currently 4:28, so we're very early in the morning on this candle. Again, I'm just expecting prices to really start to push here. And yeah, again, like the only thing that really goes against us is this 30-minute fair value gap right here. But I think that we could inverse through this, and then again, our TP is just right over here and right over here. There's no high impact news, no news that comes out at all today. So we're looking, again, no news is good because then we could take a trade whenever. And yeah, feeling really confident in this trade. I am just going to let the trade run here. Again, we're looking for around, let's see, pips. So that's around 130 on the day, 130 pips on the day. So we'll move this to around 135. And again, let me explain the whole idea. So I saw price fill this gap right here. And for me, I was like, okay, well, there's one of two things that could happen. Either we fill this gap, this will be a bullish fair value gap. We either fill this gap and react bullish off of it and target these highs and continue higher on the day, or, we come down. And for me, I was just like, okay, well, we filled this gap. Like, obviously, we filled this gap. So for me, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to look to long. We had, price playing into this area. We had price playing back out of this area. So then I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to look to go long here. There's some break retest levels on the 5-minute. So like we can see break retest right here. Although I don't, it's not like a super strong confidence, but it does play into the market structure. But you can see bullish 30-minute, bullish 15, very bullish 15-minute. This can be an easy, TP to this area if price doesn't play off of this fair value gap and start to move to the downside here. Again, there is potential for price to take out some of these lows, but we'll see what happens here. And yeah, we are just going with the flow, guys. I think these draws on liquidity are a lot simpler though, especially with there not being any high impact news or news of the sort. I think that we can easily target this. So we're almost halfway there, I think. So we're up like 50 pips so far. There we go. So we're just going to let this trade idea keep on playing out. We could tap into this 24.5 and then start to reject. But I think overall, I think this is a very strong entry idea. And let me go to something like a 1 minute over here. And then we go 5 minute over here. And again, our stop loss is below this swing low, so for me, that's very strong. And you know, we could play like higher into these areas, but I just want to take my TP quickly and be done for the day. You know, that for me is like the goal here with this. So it's to maximize profits, but also minimize risk and minimize exposure. Because the longer that we're in the trade, the more exposure we have. So yeah, we're just gonna see how this plays out, and I'm just gonna stay to these higher time frames. Again, right? We tapped off this bottom. This was a previous monthly low that we tapped into. We reversed off of. This daily candle is very strong, right? We have a wick. The daily candle closing above this previous monthly low, and this is why I think that price can really start to just push to the upside here. Again, we had that bullish fair value gap being filled. I don't think that we can come any lower, and I'm just trading with the trend, right? I'm simply just following what is price doing while we're pushing to the upside. All right, take the trade with the trend. You know, this is the 5 minute. We have the 15, 30, and then the 1 hour. As you can see, we have around 30 minutes left on this 1 hour, but we're pretty bullish so far. We're up almost 50 pips, so we have like another 80 pips to go. Hopefully we can see price really start to push here to the upside, and then I can look to capitalize. In all honesty too, I really do think that with how strong this move was, I can start to move my stop loss to break even. Let's see. Well, no, that would be up here. Hell no. So my entry was at 24462. 24462. Stop loss is literally right at these lows. So that's the trade idea. 4, 6, 3, 2. So yeah, right there. Boom, 37.5 pips. And then we're looking for 130, slightly below this 24.6K level. I feel good about this trade. Again, confident, simple trade, nothing crazy. Like we saw price already react to this area, so we're just trading with the trend. Again, price does have the ability to come down, take out these London lows, because these are potential London lows, if that makes sense. We could potentially come down and take this out, but also at the same time, we did, with this move, right, from London session, we did take out these lows. So we took out Asian session lows, we pushed into this bullish fair value gap or bullish opening gap, and then we could look for price to return higher. I want to see how price reacts to this 24.5K here. Okay, so we did close bullish, but we could still see price potentially come down. Yeah, so we pushed, but we didn't. Not looking too strong. I'm going to move my stop loss a little less into drawdown. I'm going to do half the risk now. So instead of the original 15 or 1%, I'm going to do it at 0.5%. This just gives me room to breathe and allows price to, you know, if it does come down, well then I'm only stopped out at 0.5% and I could re-enter with another 0.5%. Am I feeling confident about moving this stop loss? No. But do I want to risk any more than what I currently have? Like the actual 1%? No. So I'm going to move that. We're just going to keep it. Actually, I want it at 750. So 780 is where we'll be at. Again, we moved it to around 19.75 pips. So Could be a strong sell here, guys.
Order filled.
Okay. Had to exit that position. Did not feel any more confident about it. Only reason why I didn't feel confident was because we were rejecting this area, pushing down, pushing back down on this 5 minute, and then you can see the 1 minute starts to really, like, we were just selling, right? So for me, that was not the most bullish price action. All right, guys, so we entered in this last position for the day with that 1% risk. Our stop loss is around 32 pips. Entry was a little bit, was filled in a little bit lower. But yeah, what I'm seeing is this rejection of the 24.5. We could come up, stop, take this out, and then start to reverse. But what I'm seeing as well on the higher time frame is this 1 hour pushing into this 30-minute area, getting that rejection. So I'm looking at price taking out these London lows, potentially pushing back into this 24,250 on the day. Yeah, so it'd be like down here. That's what I'm looking for price to do. Again, we could basically do it. So 24,250 down here. We can do one position. You can do market buy one or limit buy. Sorry. Limit buy one at 24,360. Because we're selling. Yeah, so you'd want to buy one back down here. So we take half the position off and then let the rest just run down to this POI. Yeah, so that's going to be the trade plan. An idea for this trade. Again, my idea, I just was meditating, took a step back and was like, okay, what do I think could happen? 30 minute, we tap into this 50% plus the key level 24.5, right? We previously were rejecting this area, rejection. We're coming back up, forming a lower high to then do what? Continue lower, continue pushing down into some type of low or some type of liquidity area, so such as this, or we could be pushing into, say this down here even, and then we would look for price to then reverse to the upside. So I'm going to actually look to take this off the table, and potentially price comes down to 10K, which would be a little bit more than which would be cool. I don't know if we would hit this. I'm not, too positive on price hitting this area. I do think that we could come into this 24250 very easily, but yeah, we'll see. We're playing it by ear. Again, I'm expecting this 1 hour to close pretty bearish, and we'll see what price wants to do here. If it does start to reject and continues to reject, this could be a very bearish move, and then we could start to see price start to push to the downside. Really want to see this start to move though, opposite way, not keep going up. So we'll see. I could definitely have been very early to the trade idea. We'll see though. Because we have like this break retest level where we could easily push back into this high, pushing above this previous 15 minute, sorry. Ten minutes left. We're looking pretty bullish. Hopefully we can get some strong rejection here. Don't think that'll happen though. Anyways, I'm gonna get off this. Come back to you guys later. Peace. Your boy's out. Bye. Up $311 on the day, so I just added that to my stop loss for this trade, which gave me around 45 pips of stop. I do think that we might get hit here, sadly, but I mean, it is what it is. This is the 1 minute candle. I want to see price really start to dip down. Again, this is 24.5k. Key level, we previously reacted to this area, so I'm expecting to see price start to reverse. Two, 4, 5, 1, 4. I want to see price start to come back down, close below this area, close below the 245. I don't want it to be at this area. Have a minute, 46 seconds. Yeah, this is looking so fucking bullish, y'all. Damn. All right, it's 5 in the morning. Let's see what price does here. Again, very bullish candle. So it's not looking good for us in all honesty. We closed above this 24.5 too. Yeah, it's looking pretty bullish here. 30 minutes looking bullish as well. You know, these are large candles. The only thing that's not is this 5 minute. 5 minute closed doji. But we'll see what happens here. I really want to see price start to move to the downside. But it doesn't look like we're going to do that, guys. Fuck. So 3 minutes showing like that with rejection. But we want to see price start to come down, close below. Once we start to close below, I'll feel comfortable moving my stop back. But we need to start closing below this 24.5 here. Because look at all this low resistance liquidity. That's what I have a feeling that we're going to target this. Will I be, right on the timing? Who knows? We'll see. It really does come down to just being, a timing game. Did I buy on an uptrend or did I sell on an uptrend? Indeed. And that's fucking stupid because now I have to compensate via pips if I can, if price allows me. But if we just come up and stop me out, then there's nothing I can do, which looks like price is about to do. Yeah, like we're accumulative, but it doesn't look like we're gonna close below. This is the 3 minute. Check the 5. 5 minute, we do have 2 minutes left. Maybe price has formed some type of a lower high in this area. High, higher, low. Just pretty range bound. So maybe price does start to push down. I really want to see it close below. I really want to see that push down. And we got stopped, guys. Fuck. That's what happens. That's what I get. It's honestly what I get for moving my stop loss up so high. Just being dumb, in all honesty. So moving my stop loss up like that means that I wasn't patient enough on the entry. So I had just an impulsive entry, and yeah, it wasn't planned out. It was just impulsive. It was dumb. It was whatever. So very, very, very sad. End of the day, negative over $1,000. So yeah.
Order filled.
It is your boy, and we are going to quickly review the day. So, coming into the morning, we had this 1 hour bullish fair value gap that was the weekly open. So, we had the weekly open, price had pushed up, and then you can see these London highs were being formed early London session, and then we came down into this low area where price had formed this London low. Now, there was no high impact news for today, as I can show you guys right here on Forex Factory. There was no news whatsoever. So for me, I was able to take a trade whenever. And at 4:25, 4:25-ish in the morning, I was looking for a long position, which was right here, down here. So after seeing price come into my 1 hour POI, I had entered in the position, price had started going to the upside, and then we came back down. And when we came down, I got out of the trade idea because I had thought that price was going to potentially reverse and have some downwards movement, taking out these London lows. And yeah, I wasn't confident in my first initial trade idea, so then I exited the position. And right then and there, I should have just been done for the day and not taken any more trades and just, again, left with the profits and, been content with just not having a strong bias on the day. But we did take an L, a big L, because as you saw in the video previous, or on the minutes previous to this, I was moving my stop loss up more and more and taking and incurring more and more risk, which is so fucking stupid. And it was like, it's just something that really bugs me about myself, in complete honesty, or to be completely honest, because it's something that I work on constantly, and I know that I need to stick to a plan, yet I just go back and forth between risking too much or over trading. And today was a perfect example of me not being disciplined, because what had happened, I started to overtrade, I started to over risk, and I started to incur more losses than necessary. So what happened? Well, we took a big L on the day, almost 2% loss. My balance is around 2 negative, and I have around 1.6 to play with. So if I go to here, which also brought all my stats down, which is just, it's so embarrassing, man. Look at that, 4 trades on the day to end up negative. Like, it's so stupid that I take that many trades. 4 trades is just incredibly stupid. It should be one great trade idea, such as this morning, and we would have been up over 400 pips on a 2 lot. So, yeah, I mean, just got to do better. Got to stick with my initial trade idea. Got to make sure that that one trade idea that I take for the day is, perfect. From the entry to the exit to the what invalidates the trade or makes me not confident in the trade. And then when that trade idea is done, let's say I get stopped out, or let's say I move my stop loss up too early and then I got stopped out, well, then I'm done for the day and I walk away either profitable, win, lose, draw, I walk away. So, yeah, guys, that's the real quick review. Again, we were looking for buys early in the morning because we had this 1 hour weekly open, which formed a bullish fair value gap. Price came down into it on London session, and we started pushing from this area to the upside. So I was just looking for an easy continuation trade to trade up to these low resistance liquidity areas and into potential key levels such as 24,750. And yeah, price had pushed beautifully to these areas. Too bad I wasn't in the trade. Here was the initial trade that I took a L on, which was around $2,000, and then the second trade I took around $750 loss because I entered in too early and had got stopped out. So again, guys, it was just embarrassing and not a representation of my actual trading plan or my discipline. Hopefully tomorrow we can bring this back, take out these losses and, show profitable. Tomorrow we do have some high impact news at 5:30 all the way to 7. So we're going to be very patient. Wait for that 7 a.m. Wait for that the 6 a.m. candle to close, and for that new 4 hour candle to open so that we can see the volatility, the manipulation, and go from there. Again, guys, I'm not going to be too hard on myself. It was, we just move on simply because we still have, we have the next great trade. We have one more great trade idea that we can take. So we're going to, make sure that it's a great trade idea. We're going to look to capitalize on it. And yeah, and from this day, I took lots of lessons too. So like one thing that I completed a whole new journal entry idea. So yeah, you guys can, pause the video and read this if you want. This is just me reviewing the trade idea for the day, also including screenshots. So yeah, again, guys, peace, love y'all, bye.